What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Got some NFL player props we're going to look at today on PrizePicks. We actually have 4 picks for Thursday night's game, Arizona and Seattle. Seattle at Arizona. We have 4 picks. Now, first, we have to address our last video. It was a sad day, a day of loss. We went 0-2 on that video, so we can all take a brief moment of silence for that video. All right, here we go on to today's picks. Don't forget, check out Football's an F Word podcast, link below. Hop on that. Don't forget. We are taking a look at 4 picks. First pick we can start out with right here. Like I said, we have Seattle going to Arizona. So weather is going to be perfect. Playing in the Dome, State Farm Stadium, right? First one is going to be JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, over 82.5 receiving yards. Now, last week was his least amount of receptions. We can go take a look at this right here. Week 3 was his least amount of receptions right here against New Orleans, and he still gets 5 catches on 6 targets. Prior to that, 9 catches, 8 catches, double-digit targets, and even on that only 5 catch game, he still almost hits 100 yards receiving, gets 96 yards. Each game so far, he's had at least a 40-yard reception. So even if we just get that, we're halfway there, not to count the other 4 to 8 receptions that he's going to get, right? So even if not, like I said, we have so much more volume of targets here that we don't have to get that 40-yard reception. We're not relying on that. I mean, he's getting 13-10 targets through the first 2 weeks. So that would be pick number 1. I think this line is safe all the way up to about 84.5. I don't think it's going to climb any higher, but that is what we're looking at for pick number 1. Now, if you to pair with that, right, to kind of go off of that theory, if you like that pick, I think that this is a safe bet to go with. We're going to go to longest completions, and it's going to be Sam Darnold. They have his longest completion set at 34.5. Now, again, so far through these 3 games, each of his longest completions have been to JSN, and we see his longs right here, 40, 43, 45. So it's safe to say, instead of taking JSN's longest yardage reception, I'd rather just go to Sam Darnold, because it might go to a different receiver, right? It could go to anyone. It could go to Cooper Kupp, whoever the case may be. So if you do like JSN over his receiving yards, I think it's safe to go Sam Darnold over 34.5 for his longest completion. So that will be 2 picks right there for Seattle. I'm going to split these up 2 and 2 because PrizePicks payouts is on some bullshit. So I'll chop those 2 in half and pair with these next 2 from Arizona. Next one that we're going to look at is rushing yards for Arizona, and it is none other than Kyler Murray. They have him at 29.5 rushing yards. I like the over here. Through 3 weeks, we have seen an increase in his rush attempts right here. As per, like, in the past, if you look right here, going into the past, 3 and 4 at the end of last year. We go over 8 and 5, pretty high right there. 3, 2, 7. But so far through these first few weeks, we're looking at 7, 7, and 6 rush attempts. So Trey Benson obviously is going to be their starter. He's more of a pass catching back. James Conner was their hammer. Obviously, he's out of the equation. So if Trey Benson can't get anything going on the ground, they're going to rely on the pass game a lot. I think Kyler Murray's kind of going to be a little. He's going to be running quite a bit. I think opportunity to run is going to be there. Going to be throwing the ball a lot. I think he's going to kind of be running for his life a little bit here. So I think that I easily see 5 attempts from him, right? He hasn't seen that lower than 6 yet, but I can at least see 5. I think his rush attempts is set at 5.5. So I like that. Now, again, if you like that, kind of going off of that, we're going to go with Trey Benson. They have a receptions. It is a goblin. So it is a goblin. I don't hate his receiving yards, but I like Trey Benson's reception goblin of 2.5 right here. So looking at his stats, going over 2.5 receptions for Trey Benson. He's going to see a much bigger role, obviously, in this game. Last 2 games, he saw 4 and 6 targets. You can see that here with 3 and 4 catches. So he's cleared this reception prop through the last 2 games. In week 1, he only got 1 target, 1 catch. But these last 2 weeks, he's seen a little bit bigger of a role. This week, he should see even bigger of a role, right? So if you wanted to go over, I think it's having him at 21.5 receiving yards. I don't hate that, but I just think the volume of targets is going to be there a lot more, right? So you could argue that almost any of these receiving props, I think, for him are going to look good. But he's already a receiving back, like we said, with his dedicated routes right into the formation. Now you add in all those little check downs in between throughout the game. I just think he's going to get 4 to 7 targets easily. And he's catching most of those, especially if they are a little check down. So I think all these are pretty safe right here. Like I said, a couple of them kind of go hand in hand. If you're going to take JSN over his receiving yards, you might as well take Sam Darnold over his longest completion. So like I said, I'm going to split these up because, look, you got, since when is a 4-leg power play, even though one's a goblin, since when is that 4X? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. PrizePicks is really, really trying to drive a wedge in between me and them. So anyways, that'll be the 4 picks right there. Trey Benson over his receptions goblin of 2.5. Kyler, give me 30 plus rushing yards out of him. Sam Darnold over 34.5 longest completion. JSN over 82.5 receiving yards. Let me know what y'all think, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Good luck. Later.